Hi everyone, welcome to Snowflake Summit. I am Benoit Dageville, co-founder and president of products. Today, I am excited to share with you the progress we have made here at Snowflake, building a new type of cloud named the Data Cloud. The idea for the Data Cloud started almost 9 years ago. At that time, Thierry and I were witnessing the failure of both data warehousing and big data solutions, and we knew something completely different was needed. Our dream was to build a solution where you could store all your data, regardless of its structure or volume, and then run any number of workloads against that data with no complexity or concurrency limits. We wanted our dream solution to be self-service and extremely easy to use. For example, adding new workloads should not require any capacity planning because our system would scale instantly and on demand. Also, ongoing management of this workload should be left to the system itself, with minimal user intervention. Finally, our dream solution should push the state-of-the-art of analytical system with top-notch transaction support and very fast response time. Our ambition was to enable effortless consolidation of both data warehouse and big data workloads while dramatically speeding up both workload types, even at petabyte scale. And all of this with a significant reduction of cost and complexity using a pay-as-you-go model. Not only has the Snowflake Data Cloud delivered on our initial vision, but it now goes far beyond it. The Data Cloud has rapidly evolved into a global cross-cloud network where hundreds of companies use it to execute their most demanding workloads while at the same time sharing and collaborating across their data. All of this is made possible because of 3 unique differentiators that makes our Data Cloud a truly innovative solution. The first differentiator is our platform. It is delivered as a fully managed service with almost no knobs to tune. Snowflake is one single platform that covers many cloud regions from different cloud providers, today spanning 23 regions around the globe. The building block of our platform is a Snowflake Cloud region, which is built around our multi-clustered shared data architecture. Each Snowflake region scales seamlessly, and there is practically no limit in the size of data or compute power each of our customers can muster. What's more, individual clusters can be spun up and down in seconds, providing each workload a true compute on demand power only when needed. But we didn't stop there. All Snowflake regions are interconnected, enabling each region to exchange data and metadata with other regions with high throughput. This enables many global capabilities, such as cross-region and cross-cloud incremental data replication for true business continuity via region failover. The same capability also enables global data sharing. Finally, accounts are no longer silos, as they can be connected globally for a centralized view of an organization, regardless of cloud or region. Offering a single, easy-to-use platform, which is multi-cloud, multi-region, and truly global, is what makes our Data Cloud one single cloud for the world's data. The second differentiator of our Data Cloud is that it allows you to consolidate in a single place your data and your workload. As an integrated system, Snowflake does not require that you deploy multiple tools to manage these different workloads. The result is less complexity, better security, reduced cost, and higher performance compared to the alternative approaches. We initially designed Snowflake to efficiently support large volumes of structured and semi-structured data. By complementing this with unstructured data like text, images, or even videos, our Data Cloud will fully store any type of data in a future release. Supporting a wide range of workload types is critical, and the Data Cloud also delivers on that front. Today, customers run their most critical data warehousing workloads on Snowflake because it's delivered as a complete SQL solution and includes full multi-statement ACID transactions with extremely fast SQL interactivity, which is really a must-have for dashboarding. Data engineers and data scientists are not left behind. Snowflake is also extensively used for data preparation and feature engineering. Snowpark, currently in preview, brings data programmability to the data cloud, allowing Java and Scala to run directly inside the Snowflake platform using exactly the same highly efficient execution engine we use for SQL. Snowpark will be extended to support Python in a future release. Finally, product development teams are building the next generation of cloud data-intensive applications, all powered by Snowflake. The third differentiator, which makes the data cloud a truly transformative system for any organization, is our data sharing feature, which enables collaboration within and across organizations. In the data cloud, data sharing supports live sharing of virtually unlimited amount of data. Imagine being able to share databases exactly like you would share documents with Google Docs. Similarly, Snowflake can enable access to external data sources without copying data or requiring costly ETL. Within your organization, teams can collaborate across departments and business units. Outside your organization, you can collaborate with partners and suppliers in a secure and governed way. And finally, you can collaborate with an entire ecosystem using the Snowflake Data Marketplace. Today, the Data Cloud has hundreds of data listings readily available for use as more and more organizations realize the benefits of data collaboration. We are excited to continue to deliver innovations that support our vision and have a number of announcements to share with you today. To discuss those, I would like to welcome Christian Kleinerman to stage. Hello,
Hey, Benoit.
Christian.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Hey, what you've done in the last 8 years is amazing. You've redefined the what's possible. You've changed the industry. And what's coming in the next 8 years is even better. It's inspiring to all of us.
Thank you, Christian. Great seeing you.
Good to see you.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you. As you heard from Benoit, Snowflake's unique approach not only has redefined what's possible with data by pioneering the data cloud, but it has given us a strong foundation to continue to build and innovate on. This foundation powers Snowflake's leadership across 6 workloads, with blazing performance, reduced operational complexity, and hardened security. It's what enables us to create a global experience across clouds and regions. And it breaks down silos so organizations can connect to the most relevant data for their business. Today, I'm thrilled to announce how we continue to innovate in 5 key areas: connected industries, global governance, platform optimization, data programmability, and powered by Snowflake. Throughout the announcements today, you'll also hear from a few of our customers about what they've been able to accomplish in each of these areas. And of course, you'll also get to see Snowflake in action. Let's dive in. First, we'll focus on how Snowflake connects you to high-value data sets that increase the data capability of your organization, enhances business outcomes, and leads to better products and services. Today, every Snowflake user can seamlessly and securely access data from across the data cloud. This is powering a variety of new types of data collaboration across each industry as companies can create tighter, more valuable relationships between their business units, partners, and customers. Retailers are sharing granular item and store-level point-of-sale data in near real-time with CPG companies. BlackRock is creating the future of the investment management industry with its Aladdin platform, which is powered by Snowflake. And NBC Universal is setting a new industry standard for advertising in a cookieless world. As the data cloud grows in your industry, there will be more and more value that is relevant to you as a Snowflake user. You'll see new data providers, data services, industry solutions, and applications that are powered by Snowflake. For many users, the point of entry to the data cloud is the Snowflake Data Marketplace. There, every Snowflake user can discover and access new data to enrich your insights or machine learning models. The data marketplace is how companies of all sizes and industries are accessing data seamlessly and leaving behind old methods of moving files and copying data. And what's incredibly exciting is the growth of what's available in the marketplace. Since you last heard from me in November, and as of April 30th of this year, 2021, we have increased the number of available data sets by 76% and added industry-leading providers. While having a comprehensive marketplace is one piece, it's only as valuable as its usage. We have seen access and sharing of this data increase substantially in the last 6 months. We're always working to reduce friction and simplify the process by which our customers have access to the data they need when they need it. Which is why I'm excited to announce a new integration with ServiceNow to make ServiceNow data available directly in the Snowflake Data Cloud. Using this native integration, customers will be able to work with ServiceNow data in near real time, even for large deployments scaling to billions of rows. This capability will be available in private preview in the coming months. I'm excited to speak with Andy Marcus, Chief Data Officer at AT&T, to talk about how they're realizing their vision for data modernization using the Snowflake Data Cloud, and how this new integration will deliver value for his organization. Andy, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us today. We love that you came to us and said, I need you to help me with ServiceNow data integrated into Snowflake. And maybe that's a great place to start. Why is this native ServiceNow connector so critical for your business?
Hey, Christian, thanks for having me. And I think partnership is absolutely a key to the AT&T and Snowflake relationship. But yeah, we reached out, right? I mean, AT&T's, as you know, is implementing ServiceNow as our configuration management database. So in how we're using the CMDB, it's going to manage, all of our relationships between our service offerings and our inventory and our consumers, both business to business and our consumer relationships too. And so all this data, as it's pumped into ServiceNow, it's also foundational, to data work across the enterprise. So we can't have it just be siloed and orphaned within the ServiceNow platform. So as you also know, right, we're in the middle of our data, modernization and transformation efforts. And in that vision that we have for data architecture, Snowflake is our, central data repository, central data platform for consumable data. And so it's essential, that we have a very seamless and efficient process of getting that data from ServiceNow into that Snowflake environment. And that's what we're enabling together. And it has to be seamless because we're going to have so much data there, right? With the scale of AT&T, we'll have billions and billions of those relationship records there. And so to get that data, into Snowflake, we couldn't afford a daisy chain approach, right? Of dumping the data out, processing it, reprocessing it, and even in some cases getting it back to ServiceNow, right? So we needed that seamless integration that the connector is going to provide. And so you guys came to the rescue. Thank you.
We love being able to partner with you and solve needs and overall simplify things for you. You mentioned data modernization and data transformation, which is something that is top of mind for most organizations. Where do you stand on your data modernization effort?
To use a sports analogy, we're still in the first quarter of a 4-quarter game. But we have a lot of it under a belt. And I feel really good about closing the gap. So good that I think we're going to start hopefully moving the end date in a little bit. But what we're doing is we're not just lifting and shifting. We're moving an on-prem, really complex data environment, to the cloud. It's data and AI, and we're looking at technologies that are cloud native, cloud first, elastic, all the things that Snowflake, brings to the table. And in this environment, we're really creating a streamlined approach to data and AI. So the tool sets, today, AT&T in this on-prem environment has kind of 1, 2, or 3 of everything known to man. It will be very streamlined in the cloud, where we'll have a very, efficient environment, that gives us the flexibility that we need. And the Snowflake Data Cloud will be a key part of that toolbox that we use in the cloud.
That's fantastic. And something that impressed me early on when we first talked is you have a very clear data architectural vision. Like you know exactly where you want to end. And maybe you can share a little bit about that and why does Snowflake play such a critical role in that vision?
It's really the connector of that vision. And when I say that, is that, we said Snowflake's going to become that central repository, that central platform for consumable data, across the AT&T communications company. And, as Chief Data Officer, right, my core charge is to ensure that we optimize the use of data and the value of data across the company. And so, combining data governance, creating these guardrail and guideposts for how we treat data, and this federated approach that we're really committed to, this federated approach to data across the communications company, it's super key to delivering that vision. And it starts with liberating and democratizing that data across the company. And it's not sustainable to do that by copying data, right? We need something much more fundamental than that. And that's where I believe the Snowflake data sharing and marketplace, capability comes in, because that's going to really enable us to meet that vision of democratizing that data and liberating that data, across our enterprise.
All of this sounds great, and we are very committed, Andy, to help you realize that vision. And thinking of outcomes in the future, what does success look like?
It's that that cloud migration is complete, right? Our data is operational in the cloud. It's in Snowflake so that it can be consumed, but it's also enabling this, what I would call, multidimensional hub and spoke model for data sharing. The hubs are those groups, as I mentioned, in this federated environment. The hubs are the groups across the company that originate and curate data. So we have multiple hubs. The Chief Data Office is a big one. It's a big hub, but we have other ones. And the spokes are, the areas that consume the data, right? The parts of the business that are consuming data from the hub. But it's multidimensional, because a hub can become a spoke and a spoke can become a hub. But in this, environment, data truly is democratized. And we've also created kind of an abstract layer out of the production system, so that we don't have those concerns of kind of interfering with production environments. But we've also, enabled this truly democratized view of data in this federated environment. So this is the vision that we hopefully can achieve in that 2-year roadmap.
Andy, we love the vision, and we are very, very committed to help you realize it as soon as possible, and have all of AT&T benefit from those outcomes and that different reality. Thank you so much for joining us. I definitely look forward to staying in touch and continue to partner with you. Thank you again.
Thanks, Christian. Bye-bye.
There is no shortage of possibilities when your teams can spend their time deriving value from data rather than finding, converting, and moving data. However, there's still more friction and complexity we can remove from the entire process. Very frequently, I hear about the cycle of trying out data, evaluating if it meets my needs, if it will join properly with other data you're analyzing. And related to it, we hear about the process of procuring data and ask ourselves how we can make it simpler, both for consumers as well as data providers. With these needs in mind, we're introducing 2 new capabilities within the marketplace today. First, the ability for Snowflake users to discover and transact with providers to purchase new data directly in the marketplace. Of course, to enable this, we're bringing the capability for data providers to offer a few monetization options, all focused on enabling usage-based business models. And second, to simplify the need for evaluating data prior to committing to a purchase, we're delivering a try-before-you-buy experience with access to sample data and seamless upgrades to the full data set. These capabilities will be available in private preview later this year. And to see what this will look like, let's check in with Eric Dorff and Stephanie Stillman, Senior Product Managers for the Data Marketplace team.
Thanks, Christian. Eric and I are excited to share with you how we plan to evolve the Snowflake Data Marketplace. Soon, we'll enable customers across every industry to evaluate and purchase third-party data faster than ever before. The marketplace provides value to both data consumers and data providers. Eric is going to walk us through how consumers will purchase data on the marketplace, and later, I'll walk through how providers will list and sell data.
Thanks, Stephanie. We'll take a look at how the digital marketing team for our fictitious retailer, Style Me Up, can access data from the marketplace. Style Me Up sells a variety of products within health, beauty, and apparel. Customers can purchase at their brick-and-mortar retail locations as well as online. To help increase sales, they're going to run a digital advertising campaign to acquire customers interested in beauty products. In order to maximize the return on their ad spend, they want to promote products that are in highest demand by their target customers. The marketer logs into Snowflake to see if one of their more than 140 data providers in the data marketplace has data they can use to enrich their analysis and provide additional insight they wouldn't get from leveraging just their internal data alone. In looking through the marketplace for consumer purchase data, they discover a dataset made available by Ibotta. Based on the descriptions and sample query, the Ibotta dataset looks promising. It appears to contain product categories and amounts spent by age, gender, and location, which they can use to assess demand. But the only way for them to really know for sure is to try. Which is why we're introducing the ability to try and validate a sample of the data directly from within Snowflake. This sample data that Style Me Up just received is a subset of the full paid dataset. So they can now evaluate the data by running a query to confirm the categories of products they sell are represented in the dataset. It looks like beauty and apparel product sales are represented, and this dataset will give them an important signal to improve their promotional campaign. Style Me Up can now go ahead and purchase the full dataset from Ibotta. Directly within Snowflake, they simply click the Buy button and get immediate access to the full dataset to complete their analysis. There's no need to fill out a contact form or wait to speak to a representative. This removes a lot of friction and waiting from the usual data procurement process. Using the traditional way of purchasing data, this process could take weeks or longer to complete. Being able to self-serve and trial data is such a game changer for data consumers, enabling organizations to evaluate and purchase data in the marketplace faster than ever before. Stephanie, how do these new capabilities benefit providers?
Data providers will be able to offer usage-based pricing models for their datasets, while Snowflake manages the customer invoicing and billing process. To illustrate this, let's continue with the example Eric used. This time, I will show Ibotta's experience as a data provider. When Ibotta created their listing and made their data available for purchase on the Snowflake Data Marketplace, they selected from one of three pricing models: usage priced only, fixed price only, or fixed plus usage price. This pricing structure is uniquely different from a subscription model. If no queries are run, the data consumer doesn't pay. Let's walk through each option in more detail. The first pricing option is a per query price only. In this model, a consumer will be responsible for paying for each query run against the provider's data. The second option is a fixed price only. With a fixed pricing model, a consumer will be responsible for paying a set price each month where they run at least one query against the data. The final pricing option is a combination of the two, with a fixed base price each month and a small amount for each query run. Again, no matter what pricing option a provider chooses, if no queries are run in a given month, the consumer won't be charged. Since Ibotta selected the usage-based pricing option, Style Me Up is only responsible for paying for the queries they used for their analysis. This is a new level of flexibility that both data consumers and data providers are really excited to get their hands on. As Christian mentioned, the try before you buy and usage-based pricing capabilities will be in private preview later this year. We're iterating quickly on these data marketplace features together with our customers. If you're interested in reimagining the data buying experience with us as either a data consumer or a data provider, we would like to invite you to sign up for our private preview using the link here. Now, back to you, Christian.
Thank you, Eric and Stephanie. The marketplace continues to make it easier and easier to realize the benefits of the data cloud. Security and protection of data have been top imperatives for us at Snowflake since the early days. And our vision for a data-connected world with seamless sharing and collaboration is no exception. Data governance and privacy are critical. As a unified architecture that spans across multiple clouds and regions, we've developed sophisticated governance controls that apply across data sets and roles, and equally important, it fits in your organizational processes for governance. We continue to deliver semantic and policy-based controls to simplify the governance of data. Last year, we introduced a number of new controls. Dynamic data masking, which is now generally available. We also now have row access policies in public preview as well, and object tagging in private preview. But for data governance teams and data stewards, we know there's a broader ecosystem of tools that you may already use to manage policies across your organization. We also understand the value of partnerships, which is why we're teamed up with some of the leaders in this space to develop new policy management experiences for Snowflake. As part of this, we're excited to announce our latest integration with Alation, where you will be able to create and manage Snowflake governance policies and auditing workflows. You can see this integration, which is expected in the coming months, in action during the What's New in Governance session later today. And we plan to continue to expand our integration to other popular tools. Now, it's tremendously useful to be able to protect known sensitive information or personally identifiable information, PII, within Snowflake. But how do you know you've identified all your sensitive information? What about new data? Last month, we started previewing our new classification capability, where Snowflake will help identify PII data in a given table and annotate it leveraging our tagging framework. Once identified, any of our security controls can be applied on the data. But privacy is important to us and our customers, and our work in this area goes beyond. I'm excited to share that we'll also be delivering a new capability, anonymized views, that will protect personal data while retaining analytical value, enabling broader use for your teams and your partners. This will be in private preview in the coming months. Let's see this in action with Monica Holboki, Principal Product Manager for Data Privacy.
Thanks, Christian. Hi, everyone. As more data moves into the data cloud, the governance of that data becomes critical, especially if it contains personal data. With our new automatic data classification, it allows users to detect personally identifiable information and tag it. And paired with our planned anonymized views, this personal data can then be protected while still retaining analytical value. We've already heard that Style Me Up is looking to increase sales. To help with this, they want to expand their promotions to their existing customer base. Let's see how our new governance capabilities can help minimize risks while still enabling teams to use customer data for advanced analytics. The data science team has requested access to customer data to improve personalized recommendations and discounting. Specifically, the data science team wants to combine recent purchase history with the customer's gender, age, and zip code. In the previous demo, you saw that Style Me Up was able to obtain data from the Snowflake Data Marketplace that allowed them to enrich their customer demographic data. The security admin at Style Me Up, who is responsible for ensuring our most sensitive data is protected and helps us meet regulatory compliance requirements, has asked me, the customer data owner, to prepare a privacy-protected version for the data science team. For their analysis, the data science team wants to focus on customers who have recently purchased hair care products, since that's our most popular product category. I created a new customer table with just these customers. This table clearly has sensitive personal data. I want to do two things before I share this data: classify, then anonymize. I run the Snowflake classification function called extract semantic category, so I can understand what is in this table. It will identify the semantic and privacy categories of each column in the table. Semantic categories tell me what the cells in a column contain, like name, email, age, gender. Privacy categories tell me what kind of personal data it is. For example, is it an identifier or a quasi-identifier? Identifiers directly identify an individual, such as customer ID, name, and email address. For example, state, zip, age, and gender combined together can be unique for a significant portion of the population. In this table, the semantic categories are name, email address, U.S. state or territory, U.S. postal code, age, and gender. The privacy categories are identifier and quasi-identifier. These results look accurate. So now I will go ahead and apply these tags so this sensitive personal data can be tracked and the right set of action can be taken to protect it. Most customers who do classification use an external tool to help them or rely on manual processes. This classification happens natively and automatically in Snowflake, and therefore seamlessly integrates with Snowflake's governance capabilities, including anonymization as well as data sharing. I could protect the customer data by separating it into a lockdown schema or masking, but that will not give the data science team the information they need to build their model. I need to provide them a version that protects our customers' privacy, but retains analytical value. Therefore, I will create an anonymized view. Since I've already run classification on this table and set the tags, the creation of the anonymized view is straightforward. All I have to do is input the name of the table when I create the view. What this will do is mask the direct identifier, while the requested quasi-identifying factors will be generalized or suppressed. Now let's take a look at the view by ordering it from the smallest groups first. As you can see, this highlighted group of 3 all have the same values because age was generalized to 5-year bins. The last 2 digits of zip code was dropped and city was suppressed. This ensures that our customers' privacy and identity are protected. By creating this view, I have not changed the base table at all, and this view is dynamic. It will automatically update when there are changes to the base table and maintain the privacy protection that I have put in place. While the data has been protected, the data science team can still use this data in their analysis. So now I can go ahead and let the security admin know the view is ready to be shared. They can then set the right access policy to share it with the data science team. We've walked through how to automatically classify your data, tag it, and protect it using anonymized views. These new capabilities will integrate with the rest of Snowflake's robust policy-based controls to simplify the governance of data and help you comply with ever-changing regulations, all while increasing the velocity and impact of your data science and other analytics teams. For more details, please join us for the announcement deep dive session, What's New? Governance in Snowflake. Now back to you, Christian.
These new capabilities are part of our broad commitment to enable organizations to innovate and leverage the power of data while ensuring the governance of data. I now want to invite Biba Helu, Senior Vice President of Enterprise Data and Risk Technology at Capital One, to share with us how Snowflake has helped them scale and simplify governance. Biba, thank you for being here with us today, and thank you for the long-running partnership that we have with Capital One. You're one of the earliest and largest customers of Snowflake. And maybe that is a great way to start our conversation today. Can you share a little bit about what led Capital One to adopt Snowflake?
As you know, Capital One has always had data and analytics at the core of its business. It's always been really important to us. And then we've also been undergoing or have undergone a really big digital transformation, embracing cloud. We were one of the first banks to get out of our data centers and go all in on the public cloud, and Snowflake was a big part of that. We chose Snowflake because we needed the performance that you gave. You were born in the cloud. You allowed us to be able to scale infinitely and support almost any workload that we have for over 6,000 analysts running millions and millions of queries a day. And we also needed to let all of our lines of business be able to leverage your product simultaneously. Snowflake was the thing that actually allowed us to get to the cloud, get all of our data to the cloud, and meet all of those user needs.
You definitely are on the leading edge of technology, and we value and appreciate the partnership with you because you have also helped us improve and guide the product. So we just described a little bit technology, but what has it done for your business?
And I'll start with just the ease of use and what our analysts are seeing. They can get really predictable performance. They can run queries anytime they want. They get much faster insights. We have a really big technology force, about 11,000 in our tech department alone, and 85% of them who are engineers. So they're really adopting Snowflake, building the use of it into their pipelines, into their software products, being able to seamlessly get to data from Snowflake. I'll give you a few examples. We have so much data and we're using it to train our neural network models. So many of you may know about our intelligent assistant, Eno. And we leverage data in Snowflake to help us provide proactive alerts to our customers when they're managing their money. As you can tell, it's just a huge impact on the innovation that our engineers can do.
Very, very glad to hear about that impact because it's what we're all seeking at the end of the day. Snowflake and governance have gone well together, and you've leveraged Snowflake to implement your governance strategy. Maybe you can share more about how you think about this.
We're a technology company, but we're also a regulated bank, and we're a large, complex organization. And so it's really, really important for us to be well managed, manage risk, not just for regulation purposes, but just for our customers as well, right? It's the most important thing to them. Snowflake, has built building blocks for us to be able to have that well-managed data platform. Things like allowing for resiliency, which are really important to our customers and our regulators. You give us a lot of metadata that we can use to help drive workflows in provisioning, in managing our information, having audit trails. You also give us a lot of good information so that we can manage costs. And we're leveraging some of your new capabilities to see how we can start leveraging no copy data sharing, which is a big deal, right? Moving data around often is a big part of risk that you have to manage. So the fact that we are able to start participating in your data sharing platform also lets us helps us reduce the risk in data sharing as well.
That all sounds great, Viva. I love that you're always at the forefront of technology and data capability. And as a leader in innovation, I can only ask, what's next? What's coming?
We're going to continue to innovate around how we use the building blocks that Snowflake is providing to make sure that we're building our tools to manage our data, manage our workflows, govern our environment really well. So, answering questions like, how do you govern data that you own, that you don't own, that somebody else owns, but you're trying to combine with your data. So we're going to continue to innovate in that space.
So after all this value you've gotten from Snowflake, you've learned a lot, you've developed a lot of knowledge on how to get the maximum out of Snowflake. How are you thinking about the opportunity to share that knowledge with other Snowflake users?
Always happy to share, connect with any of your Snowflake customers and share our experience, share our journey, share what we've done. We also are providing some information on our site, and we've made that link available to all of you in the description of this session. So please feel free to have folks take a look at that and then reach out, and we're happy to get together.
Thank you, Biba. We're thrilled to be on this journey with you. The Snowflake Data Cloud continues to grow, and we continue to innovate on performance and efficiency. And by implication, we continue to improve the economics for our customers. Furthermore, we focus on delivering these improvements seamlessly and transparently to our end users. With Snowflake, long gone are the days where the latest version of my database software has improvements I could benefit from, but it's a multi-year process to plan for upgrades and adoption of new features. Every so often, we get asked about our choice on storage representation for data, where we focused our data access on open and standard APIs as opposed to open file formats. And a key reason to do so is that we want to be able to improve the platform transparently, dramatically reducing adoption times. Let me share one such example. Over the last couple of months, we changed our internal representation of data. And one of the benefits of this change is better compression. As a data point, a large customer of ours is saving 30% on storage cost for new data. Let me emphasize this. Transparently, with no user action, with no configuration changes, with no application or query changes, our customers are leveraging better storage technology that directly translates to better storage economics. This technology is currently rolled out to all Snowflake customers and applicable to any newly written data. This is what Snowflake is about. We love innovating on our customers' behalf, and we love doing so transparently, effortlessly for our customers. These innovations and efficiencies translate to performance advantages as well. We focus on performance throughout everything we do, whether it is powering an analytics dashboard or running large-scale feature engineering. What's more important, given that Snowflake is a single product with a unified architecture, performance improvements benefit the broad range of workloads, supporting data engineering, data science, data lakes, data sharing, data applications, and data warehousing. We also continue to leverage the elasticity of the cloud to deliver novel capabilities. Such is the case of the Query Acceleration Service, now in private preview, that we introduced in November. When enabled, this service automatically boosts performance by enlisting additional compute resources during the execution of a query where processing and parallelization would benefit the most. This can result in a 15x performance improvement, again, with no action required by end users executing queries or using BI tools. Our continuous advances on performance and concurrency not only enable our customers to reduce the time to insight, but also unlocks new use cases. As an example, we are rolling out a new set of updates in private preview to better support the interactive experiences necessary for operational dashboards and embedded analytical applications. With these enhancements, for a workload focused on a large number of short requests, we are continuing to push the bounds of concurrency, resulting in up to a 6x improvement on query throughput on a single compute cluster. Additionally, we have seen up to an 8x improvement in an average query duration for those workloads. And probably most important, a significant reduction in tail latency, translating into higher predictability and consistency of response times. We Understand these are the characteristics needed by the most mission-critical workloads that your business relies on. This has allowed early customers to simplify their architectures by running these applications on Snowflake while also seeing impressive performance improvements. Another aspect of platform optimization is helping our customers better understand usage and costs overall. As part of rebuilding our user interface, we're adding a new usage dashboard with exactly this goal: simplifying the monitoring and understanding of Snowflake consumption. With this feature, which is in preview, you will be able to easily manage Snowflake accounts across your entire organization, understand and monitor usage. Let's switch over to Shravan Narayan, Senior Product Manager for our administrative experience, to take a look at the new level of visibility we have in the UI.
Thanks, Christian. If you're one of the 15,000 people using our new web experience, you know we've been hard at work to make things easier so you can be more productive. Today, I'd like to walk you through what we've recently built to help you manage your account and gain transparency into your consumption. Let's dive into how these features would help for our retailer, StyleMeUp. First, as an admin at StyleMeUp, I'm tasked with understanding and optimizing our consumption of Snowflake. Snowflake's new usage dashboard helps me quickly look at consumption across my entire organization, and then drill down into our StyleMeUp account. I see that 4 to 5 resource clusters drive the bulk of consumption: data loading, BI dashboards, ad hoc analytics, among others. However, I'm most interested in this new resource cluster the data science team is using to develop personalized offers, style predictions. As I drill into the usage on this cluster, I can see the credits consumed over time. I want to look at the past week where we saw a big spike in usage. But before I continue my investigation, I want to make sure I have the proper cost controls in place on this compute cluster. I'll quickly create a resource monitor and set a quota of 50 credits. And now when the data science team hits 50% of the quota, I'll receive a notification, and additional queries will be suspended when they hit 90% of the quota. Now, as I review the query history, I can filter for queries that ran on style predictions. When I drill into the history to find the queries that drove the spike, I see the analyst was trying to compare predicted and actual sales for a particular item. This query required a large table scan to find a relatively small number of items. In talking with the StyleMeUp team, I learned that this will be a fairly common operation. This is a great use case for Snowflake's search optimization service, where Snowflake accelerates needle in the haystack queries when the service is enabled on large tables. But I'm not too sure which roles the data science team has. I pull up Jordan, who I know is a data scientist, and see that they are an account admin. And with just a few clicks, I have confirmed that the data science team now has the ability to add the search optimization service, and will suggest they do so immediately to drive more efficient use of Snowflake, thus creating savings for our team. That concludes this quick look into a few of the many new experiences we're building to help our customers get the most out of Snowflake. As you can see, these improved experiences, along with enhancements we've made to worksheets and dashboards, will help you easily understand your usage across teams and projects, identify opportunities for optimization, ensure teams have the right access, and help you be more productive with Snowflake. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Shravan. With all this data at your fingertips, fully governed, it's time to put it to good use. And at Snowflake, we relentlessly focus on making data programmability continuously easier, more capable, and more flexible. Whether it is to build data pipelines that transform and unlock the value of data, or as part of building novel applications, we continue to innovate to simplify the process of creating amazing data experiences. Let's look at these different aspects in more detail. Ease of use is a core development principle for us, and programmability of data pipelines is no exception. Data pipelines play a critical role in unlocking the value of data, whether it's cleansing or refining data, engineering features in preparation for model development, or scoring models to operationalize your data science initiatives. 2 years ago, at our Summit conference, we introduced tasks as a native concept in Snowflake, an object for scheduling operations, and a key building block for creating data pipelines. We're now enhancing that original concept to support a serverless execution model, one in which Snowflake determines and schedules the appropriate amount of compute resources needed to execute an operation. This reinforces something that we strongly believe in. We want our customers focused on data and not focused on the infrastructure. We refer to this enhancement as serverless tasks, an enhancement that is now available in private preview. One of the most common requests we've heard is that of schema detection and extraction based on data values. With a singular goal of simplifying data ingestion and pipeline development, we now have schema detection in public preview supporting the formats of Parquet, Avro, and ORC. We plan to add support for other file formats in the future. Now let's look at new capabilities on the topic of data programmability. Snowflake shifted the programming model for semi-structured data with the introduction of the variant data type, simplifying the ingestion process, obviating the need for manual column extractions. And now we're excited to bring that same accelerated time to value to unstructured data. With this enhancement, we are now enabling you to store and process files as you do with structured or semi-structured data. This is currently in private preview. More importantly, the power and breadth of Snowflake's capabilities will extend to file data. Over time, you'll be able to ensure accessibility through data sharing, governance through our fine-grained policy controls, and business continuity through cross-region and cross-cloud replication. Today, I'm also excited to announce our new SQL API, available now in public preview. This new API enables Snowflake access through a REST API to send requests and retrieve results without the need for client-side drivers. Whether it is running a SQL statement or a stored procedure, this new API supports a variety of use cases, like embedding calls within an external application, pipeline orchestrators, or constrained runtime environments. For our customers, data programmability is at the heart of running pipelines, transforming data and extracting value from data. Our platform not only delivers performance and lower costs, but can also provide expressive power and ease of use for the most demanding and complex jobs. Let's hear from Stephen Henson Tyers, Senior Data Visualization and Automation Manager at Sainsbury's, to learn more about how Snowflake is changing how their data science and data engineering teams are working with data. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us today. How is Snowflake enabling new data science use cases? How does it affect your downstream analytics? Tell us a little bit more about the big picture.
With Snowflake and the art of bringing in granular data and building up from the base, it means that our data scientists have basically more access to the raw information should they want to start from that as a basis to work on kind of proof of concepts or iterate through what if kind of scenarios. So one real good example of that is a piece that we're doing around relooking and reimagining our substitutions. What Snowflake's enabled us to do is basically build a model and importantly iterate upon that model in a really quick and effective timescale. So one of the key things of spinning up is the size and scale of the data. We're talking about something like 4.5 billion picking events that we have available to us, which equates to around about something like 330 gigabytes of data. So it's a huge amount of data coming through Sainsbury's. Awful lots of data to process. So their methodology is, it would be really great if we could understand that data, apply conditions to that data, aggregate that data, and then bring it out into the machine learning capability modules that we have. And importantly, put that back into Snowflake as well for further use and analysis by a wider viz teams, analytics teams, or to further iterate and build upon. Another key kind of benefit of something like Snowflake is the ability to work with unstructured data, so more kind of like the JSON type data where you have nested arrays within data sets. So we can spark up new proof of concepts based off of data that hasn't been thought through from a modeling perspective or structured in any type of way. It's just been kind of landed within either S3 or into Snowflake, and we can then further write queries and views on top of that data to structure it, to aggregate it further, and to build and iterate upon new innovative models going forward. So it's been a great unleasher of capability and innovation in our area, and it's a great platform to start building more and more use cases from this data, because it releases the amount of time it takes to process a lot of this information. On the substitution piece, for example, the running of that model historically took absolutely ages. Now it runs in 2 minutes on a 2XL warehouse. So the scale and size of it is phenomenal, which you would not get through pre-thought out and pre-built on-prem platform.
That is amazing to hear, and I like the use of your words on relooking, rethinking, reimagining, because that's what we like to enable for organizations. We talked about the data scientist view, but now what happens on how your team is perceived, the people that are consuming your services?
So I look after a brilliant data visualization team, which Snowflake is underpinning our technology. So we're utilizing BI tools on top of Snowflake to help visualize to our end users. And what Snowflake does with the increased capability of querying quicker, multiple warehousing, and not worrying about processing time and impacts like that, and actually look at live querying options. So that will enable kind of like quicker and faster development, but also enable self-service analysis. So if we haven't got a pre-out-of-the-box report, can we build the objects that will generate that report and actually give it back in a timely fashion? It's given us a bit of a place in time to go, how are we doing it, and what would we do if we would be able to create things on a blank bit of paper? And so we've got a brilliant engineering and modeling and architecting team behind us, reimagining everything from scratch. So we're not just taking an existing environment and migrating that over. We are also reinventing and rebuilding from scratch what is the definition of sales and what is the definition of product, basically to answer the problem of how many versions of the truth there are out there in the business. By reimagining that, rebuilding it, and getting the business to buy into it, we can perpetuate a single version of the truth, which is key for our stakeholders. So you know that a report for, say, supply chain and logistics will be the same sales number, same stocking number as a report for commercial or finance, as long as it's the same metric that we want to use across it all. So it's been fundamental in our ability to do that, and the ability to run parallel environments to check one version versus like the existing legacy version, and the size and scale and speed has really opened up new kind of development opportunities, so we can be a little bit more innovative on the platform and drive for a better outcome.
I love hearing about the benefits of Snowflake in your organization. I could hear you for much longer, but in the interest of time, maybe one last question. And since you're a data person and metrics matter a lot, do you have a metric of success for your team, and how has that changed or been reflected since you adopted Snowflake?
So before we cared about kind of how many users we had or how many reports we had in there, very traditional kind of older mentality. Now because it's a different tech stack and we have the art of the possible kind of opened up to us with size and scale, we're now reinventing the metrics that we are holding ourselves accountable for. So we're really looking into things like the definition of done is a key theme at the moment. So for example, it's not just good enough to deliver a table as an output to facilitate an end goal. We have to look at the quality of the build and how quick the build is to enable us to really drive the innovation on it. So it's about kind of the whole holistic approach to our data estate. So not only is it about driving effective use of people onto our platform, but it's all about how quick and innovative and how much of a user experience is it from a company perspective.
Yeah, we've been ourselves through the definition of done and done and how it evolves over time. So fully empathize. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today. We love what you're accomplishing with Snowflake, and we look forward to partnering with you for further successes.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. That's great to hear how Snowflake is bringing powerful data processing and data science into the hands of everyone. Now let's look at the third aspect of data programmability, and it's the topic of flexibility. No matter how you like to build, we want you to have access to the richness and power of Snowflake independent of your preference on programming language and programming model. A common question we hear on the topic of programming languages is about SQL-based scripting. And for those of you more comfortable with SQL, Snowflake scripting is currently in private preview and will soon be broadly available in public preview, allowing you to create functions and store procedures in a SQL-based language. Many of you will find the language constructs familiar, enabling skill reuse and helpful in accelerating migrations. Speaking of language choice, last year we talked about our effort to support Scala and Java as a natively integrated programming language. We have now started rolling out Java user-defined functions to an increasing number of customers and partners and are working towards a broad public preview. This extends Snowflake for you to bring in your own business logic or a variety of third-party capabilities, including rich libraries for data cleansing, data enrichment, and pre-trained machine learning models, for example. One such library with rich capabilities is Snowpark, introduced in November of last year. Using Snowpark, you can program through familiar constructs like the data frame and have it execute directly against Snowflake's processing engine, leveraging all its performance and scalability characteristics. Snowpark is also in the process of rolling out to customers and partners for Java, and we plan to expand language support to Python in the future. Our extensibility work has two main paths to deliver benefits for our customers. One is where our customers directly extend Snowflake, and the other one is through our partner ecosystem. And no platform has maximum impact without a rich set of solutions that provide additional value and solutions for customers. As part of this, we have been working with our partner ecosystem to bring some of their incredible innovations to you, and we're excited by the breadth of solutions ranging from data science to data integration to business intelligence to security and beyond. But rather than listing them here, I like to have our partners tell you for themselves.
The ThoughtSpot team is super excited about Snowpark.
With Snowpark and Java UDF, we can process millions of customer reviews in seconds.
We couldn't be more excited for the release of Snowpark and all its future successes.
We're super excited about Snowpark.
With Java UDFs, we allow users to create functions with no code, make it searchable, and drive insights.
Community is excited about Snowpark and the Java UDF features.
We see Snowpark as the next big step.
Snowpark aligns really well with how HashMap thinks about data application design for new data apps.
We're really excited about Snowpark.
Snowpark is a massive step forward for the data science community.
Snowpark is a great next step in Snowflake's mission to democratize data by removing previous language constraints.
Snowpark has particularly excited.
Snowpark is democratizing the experience of coding in the data cloud.
We're excited about Snowpark.
We're excited that your new Java UDFs will make data authorization even faster.
Thank you, Snowflake team. You did it again.
At Informatica, we are excited about the opportunity to partner with Snowflake on the Snowpark functionality.
Secupi is excited about Snowpark and Java UDF's features.
Snowpark enables our joint customers to use machine learning models directly.
Snowpark expands the reach of the data cloud.
We're so excited about Snowflake's Snowpark announcement and the ability to bring Java UDFs directly into the platform.
It's not enough to have data. You need to trust it. With the unique combination of Java UDF and Snowpark, the Data and Trust Core Profiler will run natively inside Snowflake to do a full scan of all your data, and that rocks.
We are delighted to be delivering a set of capabilities that is being so well received by our partners and our customers. Let's see it in action with Isaac Kunin, Senior Product Manager for Extensibility.
Thanks, Christian. In our previous demos, we saw how our fictitious retailer, Style Me Up, was able to get enriched customer information to their data scientists using Snowflake's data marketplace and anonymized views. They'd now like to use the insights their data scientists are generating to drive an automated email campaign that will make their best customers feel valued and become even better customers. Let's see if we can help them. To do this, we're going to create a pipeline that will look at the recent purchase history of our customers and send those customers an email with a customized offer for product that we think will interest them. We're going to build this end-to-end data pipeline using Snowpark. We'll see how Snowpark's ability to compose and reuse code makes it easy to build complex data transformations, leverage existing functionality, and debug our work along the way. Let me show you. As a data engineer, I know my way around SQL, but it can be hard to build complex pipelines using SQL alone. For more complex tasks, I prefer to write in a language like Scala and use tools like VS Code. For our task, it's probably easiest to start with the email that we want to send, so we'll know what information we'll need to go collect. Here's the template. You can see that this has some parameters for things like the name and purchased product that we need to fill in. To create the email, I'm going to use a templating method that a colleague of mine created. What this templater does is take a template containing parameters, anything in curly braces, and a data frame that it uses to fill in these parameters. Remember, a data frame is really just an arbitrary query, and the result of this function will be a data frame with a completed template for each row. There are two cool things about this templater. First, it's totally generic. It inspects the template, iterates over the tags that it finds, and fills them out using corresponding columns from the data frame. That's not something I can do with straight SQL. Second, because this is written using Snowpark's data frame operations, the entire templating operation will be run right inside of Snowflake. Let's go back to our pipeline. Before we collect our real data, I want to test the templating. To do that, I can create a sample table right here and apply the templating logic. I can now run my pipeline and examine the result. There are a few things I want to draw your attention to before we go on. First, while I've provided all of the logic here in the client, all of the work is pushed to the server and will be run using Snowflake's powerful, scalable compute engine. Second, we can see that the query we're sending over to Snowflake is pretty complex. This is the power of Snowpark. We can encapsulate some very complex logic behind some very simple concepts, like a templating call, and let the system deal with the complexity for us. Finally, Snowpark makes it very easy to compose and recompose your flow. We've run on a sample set of data to quickly check whether the template looks good, and it does. Now with Snowpark, we can very easily swap out this test data for the real deal. For the real data, we have a stream that contains recent customers and their purchases. Let's grab that and take a quick look. The data has a number of the fields that we need, the customer's name and the product they've purchased, but we're going to have to do a little work to find a recommended product and their store information. Earlier, we saw how Snowflake's anonymization capabilities allowed the data science department to get access to new demographic and customer information. They now have an improved product recommendation model that we want to use in our email campaign. Since they've deployed the model up to Snowflake, it's super easy for us to incorporate this into our flow. Here we are. It's just a simple function call. To get their local store information, we're going to combine this with a store locator table that our team has previously put together. It provides the closest store for each zip code. We just need a join. Now we can run our pipeline and see that we should have enough data to fill in our template. Note that we're not only showing our final result, but also the intermediate steps. We can remove these shows if we wish, but it's really convenient to see these intermediate results while we're building and debugging our pipeline, and Snowpark makes this easy. Now that we have our data, we can pass them to our templater, run the pipeline, and see the result. To complete the pipeline, I just need to send the emails. We've already built a simple external function that can send emails. All I need to do is wire this up. I add in the call, provide the address, a catchy subject line, and the templated body. Now we just run this, and the emails are on the way. Let's take a moment to consider what we've done. We were able to reuse some very generic templating code to do data-driven generation of email bodies. Snowpark made it easy to write the original implementation, and even easier to reuse it in our pipeline. Moreover, because it's Snowpark code, all of the work it does is performed in the Snowflake engine. We were able to test our email generation right in line with some sample data. And it was trivial to swap in real data once we had the template right. We were able to reuse existing tables and models that were deployed into Snowflake, and the ability to see each step of the flow made it easy to test the entire pipeline. Finally, using external functions, we were able to send the emails right from our pipeline, so we were able to complete our task end to end. So with Snowpark, we can easily express the end-to-end flow. But we're working on another feature that will be going into preview in the coming months, Snowpark Stored Procedures. With stored procedures, you'll be able to put this entire process right into Snowflake. And then we can not only drive the pipeline from Snowflake, but schedule it to run nightly using tasks as well. We've just scratched the surface of what we can do with extensibility in Snowflake, and we have a lot more exciting extensions in the works. Join me in the What's New with Extensibility in Snowflake session to learn more about what's coming. And with that, back to you, Christian.
Thank you, Isaac. All of these innovations have not only unlocked new possibilities for the customers that rely on Snowflake internally for their business, but we've seen an increase in the number of companies that actually have built amazing applications and often their entire business on top of Snowflake. Which is why we're excited to officially announce the Powered by Snowflake program, which is designed to help companies build, support, and grow their applications on Snowflake. We have been working with a few founding members, including BlackRock, Adobe, and Lacework, who are delivering industry-leading platforms at incredible scale. For those of you that are building applications, this Powered by Snowflake program will provide resources to help you build products that leverage the full power of Snowflake and grow your business. For all Snowflake users, as more and more applications are powered by Snowflake, you will gain seamless, governed access to your data from these applications through the Data Cloud. Now, here's Sandeep Parsa, VP of Product at Adobe, to tell us more about how they are able to deliver great customer experiences through their Campaigns Manager product built on Snowflake. Thank you, Sandeep, for joining us today. The relationship between Snowflake and Adobe goes back several years, and maybe that's a good place to start. How has Adobe been using Snowflake across your business?
Thank you, Christian, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And like you said, our teams and our companies have been working together for many years now across both what we call the digital experience applications within the Adobe portfolio and also the internal use for our own applications.
That's great. So today we have announced the Powered By program, one that you have been an early member of. And Adobe is building a campaigns application on Snowflake. Can you share more about what is this application?
This is exciting times for us, Christian. Like you said, the investments that we've made is for one of the applications in the Adobe Digital Experience portfolio called Adobe Campaign. And as you and I know, right, so applications go through what we call the generational shifts. So for Adobe Campaign, which serves a class of use cases in a very mature market called cross-channel campaign management, we were at that inflection point 2 years ago, where our customers were asking for an order of magnitude increase in scale, in sophistication, in concurrency. And when we came together and we partnered up to start validating and unlocking these use cases, it's been a fascinating journey. And we have done the hard work, and now we're ready to launch our application powered by Snowflake this month.
That sounds amazing, and I wish you lots of success on the launch of the application. And thinking through when you decide to go build an application, you had choice. Can you tell us a little bit more about why Snowflake was the right partner for you for this?
It's a great question. So there's 3 key criteria that we used through the validation phase, through the partnership that we embarked on, right? So the first one is I'm going to use the word audience-centric campaigns, which is very critical to our business. right? The brands that we serve and the practitioners within those brands, they build audiences maybe made up of a few hundred people, a few thousands of people, all the way to tens of millions of people. And they take those audiences and make them go through a series of very sophisticated activities so that they can get to the final audience that they want to drive a campaign for. And the practitioners expect interactivity, they expect speed, and they want these operations to run in minutes, if not in seconds, where possible, right? So that is super important for us. The second one is scale, elastic scale, okay, both from a technology standpoint and also from a price point standpoint, right? Because we serve a broad class of customers from mid-market all the way through to large global enterprises, we needed the choice and the option to be able to ramp up and down the use of the technology to serve our customers at various price points. The third one, which is very important for Adobe, is operational efficiency, right? We wanted to make sure that we can staff up a team at a very reasonable price point and leverage the tools that your team has built to be able to run and operate these services, okay, and deliver a predictable quality of service for our customers. So those are the three key vectors that inform the decision-making process. High marks on all three.
Fascinating. Thank you for sharing with us. Well, what are the key criteria for success for delivering a strong customer experience once you have launched these campaigns application?
It's always about the customers telling us whether the investments that we made and the key decision criteria lives up to their expectations. There's a whole class of campaigns and use cases that our customers have been exercising for the last many months, right? Very simple onboarding campaigns, daily, weekly promotionals, and also mission-critical communications that customers in travel and hospitality and retail, they lean on us to be able to enable them to deliver those use cases. And the feedback from customers has been very positive so far. Number two, we've also invested our resources to validate that we can actually stand behind the services that we're providing and make the technology transparent, right? And our teams have come back and given very positive feedback that the tools are actually working and they're fully ramped up. And the third one is the routes to market, right? So we've been able to work with our various field colleagues and make sure that the price points at which we're able to deliver the application does meet the market needs and the commercial constraints that we need to operate within. So the inside view of how we build products has matched with customer expectations and the field expectations. So there you go. So now we have a winning combination that we're able to launch.
Those are the best launches when you get validation from customers that what you're delivering is providing the value that you expected. And of course, that's true of your application, and it's also true of us working towards powering applications. So now let's have a final conversation on where does the partnership go to? What's next for our partnership?
What's next for us is to unlock more use cases with a unified application powered by a unified technology stack, right? Christian, you and I talked about taking what we call audience-centric campaign use cases, and also to be able to serve true one-to-one customer journeys at scale and with speed is super critical. Our customers have told us now, and we've seen market saying that's the convergence that they're expecting from us. So that if we can support all the batch-oriented workloads with point lookups, unitary reads and writes, all in one application without compromising the scale and speed expectation from customers, when we can do that, I think we have a winner. And we have a clearly differentiated solution in the market, and the opportunity is massive.
So sounds great. We definitely look forward to continue to partner with you and enable some of these use cases that you described. Sandeep, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for the partnership with Snowflake and also for joining us here today.
Likewise, super excited. Thank you for the partnership from the Adobe side too. We have a win-win proposition here. Thank you for inviting me.
This brings us to the end of our announcements today. All of us at Snowflake are incredibly excited to bring these new capabilities to you, and we hope you share our excitement. Our singular focus is to increase the data capability of your organization in order to get more value out of data, to get more timely insights, and to build better products and services. Not only do we continue to advance in terms of capabilities and price performance, but we do so while ensuring the governance of data and simplifying the programmability of data. We also continue to work towards simplifying access to data and data services that can augment and complement your own. This is the Data Cloud. I very much look forward to the positive impact that these new innovations will bring to your organization and your business. And as always, be assured we will relentlessly continue to innovate and advance the Data Cloud.